Hi, and welcome to day 8 of 22 Connect. Let me see if I can do that. I had to redo this because my dogs are making a ridiculous amount of noise right now. So today I want to talk about safe people. So going and also appropriately sharing, identifying your safe people and identifying what's appropriate to share with who. So for me, I believe we're primates and that we have evolved and succeeded because we've worked together. We've been connected. So socially, intellectually, physically, our entire species, we are a connected species, and it's important for us to do that. Isolation for us is actually unhealthy. A lot of people perhaps are maybe raised and they have the good people skills. For me, there was a lot more trial and error. I call myself an optimistic realist, and I believe people are good. That kind of that Anne Frank thing, and a lot of influence of Anna Green Gables, a lot of Anns, a lot of people named Anne. So anyway, I had this idea that I really liked people, but I didn't completely know how to connect. So I would meet somebody that I liked, and then I would essentially emotionally vomit on them. And there was a couple things that were going on. One is it's kind of like that puppy that runs up to you and it's like, oh, you pet the puppy and the puppy goes, oh, like me, like me, like me, like me, like me. Well, I was kind of doing that, but also I want you to like me, so let me tell you all the bad things about myself up front. So if it's not going to work out, you can go ahead and cut and run right now, so that we can just not go through this whole lengthy, disappointing thing. And so that wasn't particularly successful for me. And it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. If I share with people who aren't safe, and I do so in an inappropriate manner, then their natural reactions to things, or the natural evolution of that interaction may not go well, and it's going to reinforce this belief that people are unsafe and I'm not likable, and so I had to do something different. So for me, this, there's that romantic idea about your boyfriend or your husband or whatever is supposed to be like your everything, and that doesn't work for me. I think that's completely that's unrealistic. It puts too much on the other person. So for me, I need to have a much more expanded social support network. So part of what I do is I look at past experience with people, and I trust people to be exactly who they are. So if I have had multiple experiences with one person, and we have a conversation about topic A and it doesn't go well, and we have a second conversation about topic A and it doesn't go well, then going into the third situation, I have enough information to know that this isn't a person that I may want to discuss subject A with. So for me, what I do is I have a colorful array of people, and different people are there to discuss different things for me. So the subject of the matter is important. Trusting people to be exactly who they are. We have a bit of a saying in one of the programs I'm involved in, which is don't go to the hardware store and ask for bread. And basically that's going to somebody with the expectation that I would like things to be different. I know who you are, but I would like things to be different. And so I'm going to have an expectation that maybe this time it will be different. And that's really setting me up for resentment and difficulty in my relationships. So the subject, past experience, circumstances. I can tell you that 2 o'clock in the morning, when I haven't slept because I'm suffering from insomnia, and my partner is intoxicated, is not the time to discuss the future of our relationship. that's just not a good thing. At the time, years and years ago when that happened, I thought, oh, good for me for standing up for myself. And now I realize that, there was no urgency to have that conversation. So that could have been delayed, and it could have been held under better circumstances. So I need to make sure that the other person is, are you rested? Are you stressed out? Is your mind on something else? And to ask also, do you have the reserves for this? Because if I need to lean on one of my friends or one of my family members, and they're going through something really hard at that time, I need to respect the fact that they may not have the reserve to support me in that moment, and that's okay. And maybe even whatever I'm going to them about isn't that big of a deal, and I can instead offer support to them. But if I never actually open up that subject and ask them, what's going on with them, I won't know. And then the last thing is, I need to know that the person's open, that they actually are interested in having that nature, that relationship. So maybe they don't want to have that close of a relationship. Maybe, things have changed for them a little bit or something like that. And so that's a respect thing also. That's making sure that it's an appropriate, safe sharing experience, and that's the right person to be talking to. It's important that more than one person knows your story, knows my story. Because again, in those circumstances, if somebody doesn't have the reserve, if they're not available, if they're not open to it, if circumstances change, it's good for me to have somebody else who is safe, that I can talk to, that I have options, and also that I am an option for somebody. So thank you for spending some time with me today. I hope this has helped somebody. Thank you, and have a great day.